moods are unabashed and uninhibited. Most of these were actually painted during his time in London and Paris, before of course when he later settled in the United States. But in India, these were often banned for being highly erotic.
He did have some obsession about the women that he had in his life. All said and done, I would say he was a very, very versatile person with an open mind. He wanted to live a good life, he wanted to have girls around, he wanted to have a lot of girlfriends, and he wanted to, but at the same time he also liked intelligent company.
The portraits, or the Souza heads as they're famously known, are unimaginably grotesque with distorted features. Decide for yourself. These are faces with bulging eyes, tubular noses and drooling mouths. Sometimes the head could have multiple eyes and the forehead could be squashed with tentacles. The idea essentially has been for Souza to show the inner ugliness of a character that corrodes the outer appearance, and the artist himself explains it the best possible manner. He said, "Renaissance painters painted men and women, making them look like angels. I paint for angels to show them what men and women really look like." Aspects of his art and aspects of knowing him as a person which has helped you grow up as a person.
So yeah, I think it's the same thing. Like I have grown up with that feeling that you should express. Thank God Facebook wasn't there that time, otherwise I don't know what he would be updating, but like so yeah, but I just feel that that's what I have learned with his art, that just bring out your personality. Don't be scared of like the fear of being judged and everything. Just be yourself and the world will come to terms with it sooner or later.
Okay, and you think that's something that you've learned from Souza? Would it have been different?
I think, or if not from Souza, from his art at least, because like I said, I didn't have any meaningful conversations since I was very small that time. But having grown up with these works and having them all around me, I feel it's definitely helped me to get rid of my inhibitions and always be true to express what I feel.
Okay. Well, it won't be surprising for you to know that Souza's landscapes are actually far more popular than his nudes or portraits. They're relatively tame, mostly depicting happy memories of his hometown Goa. Sunny sky, green hills, red roads, rice fields, palm trees, glimpses of the blue sea, and churches flaunting Portuguese architecture. But if you notice, it is the sky which is rarely serene, mostly stormy or perhaps just disconcerting because of Souza's angular brushstrokes. He has also been someone who's given the most quotable quotes, and this particular one being my favorite.
As I've noted rather flippantly that I painted murals on the walls of my mother's womb. Now that shows that it was inherent in me.
What's your most favorite memory of the artist, a favorite moment that you've shared with him? Before I get to the favorite work, but a favorite memory of him as a person.
Favorite memory also once Souza and Swami came on Holi.
Okay.
And I was expecting to go there at that time. And this is 82. And Holi time he comes and tells, should we have bhang? So I said, all right. I mean, so Ravi told his elder brother, bhang banwani. So we had bhang done. So these people enjoyed nice bhang and had lunch and chatting and this. So the very next day he comes and Uma, come, I'll show you something. And he's done a portrait of me and my husband.
Okay.
And Vichi and I said, come, when we were having bhang, you were looking at us to say, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Looking at me and Ravi, he said, what would we doing, when we're having bhang? See, that's the type of expression that you're trying to get.
That's why they don't look so similar to you. That's what Uday feels, that these don't really look like my parents. Any strong childhood memories, strong moments?
There are quite a few. Of course, there is this one which we've actually talked about a bit. Is like now, of course, we have the India Art Fair. Earlier, we used to have this thing called the Kala Mela. My father had booked an entire stall, and since like the market was changing, so a lot of senior artists were not willing to participate, which is very different from today, where people want to take part in such platforms. But the senior artists thought it was too informal or too unimportant a platform for them to be exhibited.
Okay.
But Souza, always being the sport that he was willing enough to exhibit there. So the whole stall we had Souza at the Kala Mela, and he was actually present all the time, and he would actually be signing autographs, sketching for students. So it actually became a big hit with a lot of young artists. What we also did was there was a huge canvas, which is I think about 6 by 10 feet or something, which was stretched, and he was painting live, and I was standing there, so I actually kept saying Uncle Red, Uncle Pink, Uncle Blue, and he actually kind of warmed up to it. So then he was always also, you know, interacting with me, what colors.
Looking at his art, it's difficult to believe that Souza was born into a strict Roman Catholic family in Goa in 1924. So it's always been the rebel within him that is spoken out loud in his art. A lot of F.N. Souza's works are heavily influenced by the hypocrisy of the church. He was enamored by the Christian rituals, but turned off by what he felt was the falsity of the belief system. He was curious about how sin and spirituality intertwined. His still life works mostly focus on Christian rituals. The table full of religious vessels of the Eucharist, and most of these objects are shown bejeweled, as is often seen in Catholic churches. It was once again the rebel in him which decided to form the Progressive Artists Group in the year 1947 to rebel against the traditional and conservative art style of that time. The artists who joined him to be part of this group are today known as India's master artists, which includes M.F. Hussain, Tayyab Mehta and S.H. Raza. It is only today in retrospect we realize how significant Souza's decision was. It was the coming together of these like-minded artists which has today formed the identity of India's modern art. Now, Souza is the only Indian artist to have a dedicated section at the Tate Gallery in London, with a few works at the Victoria and Albert Museum as well, and perhaps the only rare artist in India to have combined the paradox of ugly and profound in his art.